Made me nervous. Good afternoon, family and friends. Today is a day of celebration, and I am ecstatic that each of you are present. I want to personally thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy Saturday to come and support a special moment with us. I would also like to acknowledge Grove Baptist Church for giving us the foundation to make this happen. And of course, Miss Kiana for discreetly gathering everyone together. Yeah, we can give a round of applause for that.
Yay!
For those of you who aren't acquainted with me, I'm Cassandra McKay. I'm also known as Coach Foreman to
Hey!
most. I'm from Arlington, Texas, and I graduated from Sam Houston High School in 2008. I played basketball at Weatherford College, and then I transferred over to UNT in 2010, where I eventually graduated with a major in science, minor in communications. Shortly after graduating, I took off to Louisiana, where I accepted my first college coaching job position at Northwestern State. And there, I not only coached, but I pursued my master's degree. It's the craziest thing I've ever done. I didn't get a lot of rest, but looking back on it now, it was well worth it. I coached in Louisiana for 2 years prior to moving back to North Texas in 2015. It was here where time and essence allowed me and Deja to cross paths. Let it be known that I am Deja's favorite former college coach, and you can quote me on that. I've had plenty of speeches in the past, but I've never given an address like this one. Not only is it a privilege to be chosen as the commencement speaker for Deja's graduation, it's an honor to be here today on behalf of one of Oak Cliff's finest, and that is no understatement. In 2017, I watched Deja play at Life Oak Cliff for the first time. Her coach and I talked previously, and he had no doubt that Deja's future was bright. On my way over, I couldn't help but think to myself, she better ball out, because driving from Denton to Oak Cliff is a very long drive. It took no less than 3 minutes after tip-off for me to grasp that Deja was a Division I athlete. On her AAU team, Deja always showed a beast mode mentality and continued to elevate her game throughout the summer. Our staff traveled and watched Deja play during that summer, and I don't recall us missing a single game. There was no question that we needed to offer her a full scholarship to North Texas, and we did just that. Deja was taller, quicker, and more aggressive than anyone else on the floor by far. However, what stood out to me the most wasn't her chase down blocks, it wasn't her rebounding, it wasn't her points scored, but it was her passion. If there's one thing you all should know about Deja, it's that she's very passionate to the core about anything and everything. Deja is in fact so passionate that she led the team in unsportsmanlike fouls during her years at North Texas.
What?
As her coach, I concur that most of her fouls were accidental or due to pure clumsiness. Destiny sometimes fouls often, so I'm starting to think it's genetics. Anywho, Deja would always have to rotate on defense and bail her teammates out on a constant basis, or just flat out trip and fall into her opponent, resulting in a foul. Occasionally, Deja had to show her opponent that she wasn't soft. We'll talk a little mess from time to time, but she would always back it up. Period, exactly. This is where those unsportsmanlike fouls came into play. If I had to compare her to one player, Kevin Garnett is the name that comes to mind firstly. And that's a huge compliment. Deja wasn't going to allow anyone to run over her, go through her, or be slighted by any means. Her presence was felt, and that was enough to keep whoever was defending her in check. I am almost sure she would have survived on Michael Jordan's 90-17. Nonetheless, Deja's intentions were always good, and her heart has always been in the right place from day one. I've always admired how mentally tough she was. As the years have passed by, I've had front row seats to Deja's growth and maturity. I've watched her evolve not only as a student athlete, but as an amazing sister and a loving daughter. It's mind-blowing that she's now a young woman, ready to take on anything in life that comes her way. Also creating her own path and not allowing anyone to carve the future for her. I've observed her take on many risks and speak up when others are way too intimidated to voice their actions and opinions. She gets this from her mom. With everything going on in our world right now, this is a great trait to have. When times have been rough, she always had the willpower to stay focused, hold her head high, and get to work until the mission was complete. It's amazing how players you recruit eventually start inspiring you. It's for that reason why I was so willing to share this speech with you during a world pandemic, and I wouldn't have passed up the occasion for anything. Sure, this may be a little out of the ordinary or unexpected, but when you get a little older, all of this will make a little bit more sense. On the bright side, you completed yet another milestone, and there are many more to come. Look at all the people that are here for you. The support you have is unwavering, and we weren't going anywhere no matter the circumstances. One thing about life is that challenges are often coming your way. You don't know when they're coming or how much discomfort you're about to face, but you just somehow know that you'll be prepared for whatever sequence your life is going to take. Deja, I think you've been equipped for a very long time. Your strength and characteristics have continued to prevail time after time. Next up, graduate school at New Mexico State University. When you reached out to me as a reference for graduate school, it was a no-brainer to get this completed for you. In fact, I submitted the reference information the same day. There was no reason for me to put this request at the end of my to-do list. You applying to graduate school was tremendous. This is what happens when you dream big and continue to outshine the naysayers. When you first recruit a player, they can't entirely see what you envision for them in the long run, but they are bold enough to take on the test. This makes you special and well informed of what's been destined for you. With graduate school approaching, I understand seeing your family and friends daily isn't going to be very ideal. Therefore, I do have a few things I need to get off my chest in person while we are face to face.
She's talking about what I do.
Remember all those times you thought you were the best dancer in the gym? It turns out that you weren't. I am. I just didn't have the liveliness to show up and battle you after practice because I was so exhausted from being in all those drills and guarding you. I would like to include that you are good runners-up, and if anything ever goes wrong with your graduate school or your degrees, you have a future in choreography. Remember all those times you thought you were the best singer? It turns out that you aren't the best singer. I constantly tried to battle you, but I always lost my voice from yelling at you guys during all of our games. In all seriousness, you kept me alive during my time in North Texas. All the times I walked in the gym with a smile on my face, that was really encouraged by you. There were several days where I wasn't in the best mood, had a long work night, I was very low on energy, but seeing your smile always changed my demeanor and brightened up my day. You hugged me, you made fun of me, you told me you loved me, and I really don't take that for granted. You really kept me motivated, and I'm more grateful for you than you'll ever know. I commend you for all that you've done and all that you'll continue to do. You worked tirelessly to get to this very point, and you haven't taken it for granted. Instead of waiting on others to lead, you decided to lead others. You've always been so feisty and sure of yourself, and look where that's gotten you. You're a true representation of what hard work looks like, and I know you've made your parents proud as the Black queen that you are. I truly hope I impacted you the way that you've impacted me. From one North Texas alumni to another, congratulations on being part of the University of North Texas class of 2020. I love you, God bless you, and go Mean Green.
Hey.